So, testing the entire system out, we're going to let it sit here for a week. We're going to run as much product as we can through it and make sure it's all good. All your flavors have been set up, ready to go. On the gun, and it's written on each flavor what they are, so you know where to plug them in. Now, when you get this, what you're going to do is put the bench wherever it goes. Step 1. Step 2, your water line. We have a cold water fitting attachment. This is a female 1/2 inch fitting which screws onto a standard half-inch cold water male fitting, which most taps in a commercial setting for restaurants are. So once you hook that up to the cold water line, I've got a roll of tube. It's just a push-in fitting. Make sure it's cut off square, push it in. Then we run it over to the water filter. This line here will be clear. It'll just be the fitting. That's on there for our testing purposes. Cut it to size and put one of these clamps over it. Push the tube up tight, then close it with the pincers. That is your water taken care of. Next, power. You need one 10 amp power point. That's it. Next, your gas. You need straight CO2 gas. Make sure it doesn't have any beer stuff in it, like nitrogen, like a beer gas or anything like that. That will send you flat. So when you get it, all these shut-off valves will be off, like this. Put it on your bottle, open your bottle up, all your gauges will rise. This one is your carbonator, puts your bubbles in. This one is your syrups, pumps the syrups up to the system. And this one is how much is in your bottle. Top of the green is a full bottle. Now, at the present, they're set where it's supposed to be, 80 psi, and it's written on here, and 40 psi, once again written on there. Always a good idea to double check it's right. If you need to increase it, you simply wind this in with a flathead screwdriver. If you need to decrease it, you wind it out. That's all there is to it. Don't turn these on until you're ready to commission the system. So you've got power, water, gas. Next up, hook all your boxes up to it. When you hook up your boxes, this system's going to be cleaned and there's going to be sterilizing solution in the line. So you'll have to, once you start the commissioning and turn everything on, then you're going to have to hold down each of the buttons until the water comes out and your syrup comes through. But that's nice and easy. The only other thing is your drain line, which is at the back here. Just gets plumbed into, I believe you said there was a sink being removed up there it goes into. Now, all these are your syrup pumps. You'll probably never need, well, you won't need to touch them for a long time, hopefully. Only time you'll ever have to get to them if something busts. They're usually good for anywhere between 5 minutes and 30 years. 2 years warranty on them. Now, what I'd recommend is you don't silicone this bench into place. Maybe screw it in place or something that can be easily undone, that if you have to pull it out and change one of these in the future, it can be changed. But that is up to you. So once you've got the water, the gas, the power all plugged in, turned off, your box is attached, your drain down a drain line, you're ready to start commissioning. So first thing you do, turn on your water, turn on your gas bottle and open up your 2 lines here. When that happens, you should start making soda water. Oh, and then turn on your power over the back. Now, after you've done that, this carbonator is going to be full of water and it's probably going to be flat. So what you're going to have to do is get a bucket, and run soda water, probably let's call it 10 litres through it. What you're going to have to do is basically, when this thing gets low, motor turns on, it refills and makes fresh soda water. You're going to have to do that 2 or 3 times. So if you run about 10 litres through, that'll prime it, get it all fresh stuff in there ready to go. After you've done that, your flavours. Get both guns, smash down all the flavours over a bucket and flush out all the water till all the flavours come through. Now we've already preset the flavour to syrup ratio, so they should be all correct. But we recommend you double check, and we're including the Brixton cup and syrup separator. and we'll link in a tutorial on how to use them. All you'll need is a flathead screwdriver and about 5 minutes to double check them. Should be done every 6 months, or if you think something doesn't taste quite right, just as part of regular maintenance. That is basically it. There's not a lot else to it. Now, for this thing to actually work and produce proper soft drink, this ice well needs to have ice in it. If it doesn't, everything's coming out warm and flat. Now, while you're testing it and setting it up, there's no need to have ice in it. You can if you want, but you're wasting ice. Once you've got everything commissioned, you've run the soda water through, all your flavours are coming through, that's when you put a bit of ice in there. Now, the manual says you've got to fill it, which is about 20 kilos. You don't. Half full is absolutely fine, especially if it's a slow night. You're more than fine to use the ice in here to serve out as drinks in a cup. That doesn't affect it at all. In fact, it's meant to do that because all the magic happens underneath from the melting ice. So make sure you have at least half full. Our biggest call out and problem is we get people say it's warm and flat. We come out and there's an ice cubes tray worth of ice in the bottom. Fortunately, temperature is the big thing that controls how fizzy the product is and how nice it is. So it needs to be about 2 degrees, otherwise it's coming out flat. 4 degrees is the maximum temperature before the gas separates from the water and everything goes pear-shaped. But I believe we've covered pretty much everything. If there's anything you missed, well, we missed, anything you don't understand, please let us know. Apart from that, we'll just leave this sitting here on our test. Well, it's in our build warehouse. We'll leave it here on test for a few days, or at least until you get the invoice settled and everything ready to go. And then we'll clean it up for you and get it on its way.